So today I want to talk about the brown paper bag test, and I want to point out that this is going to be an unpopular opinion. It's going to be a bit of a different perspective. But as a lighter skinned person, when I look at these articles and essays written on the brown paper bag test and I hear people talk about it, I think of whether or not it's a dog whistle to really vilify light skinned Black American people. So I want to look at the Wikipedia article really quickly, and you can take a moment to read it. But I just want to point out certain items within the article. And I want to say that as a lighter skinned person, being within the African American community, I do think that there are a lot of different groups. It's not just one group. And in my opinion, people who look alike or are from similar countries or locations, for example, people from the Carolinas versus people from California, they're a little bit different and they're just going to group up because they feel like there's similarities. So I feel like with lighter skinned people, to me, the paper bag test was really just a way for them to delineate, okay, who's a part of our group and who isn't. Okay, it's similar to having a scale, at your front door and saying, hey, we're going to have like big girls and big boys club. Only people who are 300 pounds and over can come in. Okay, nobody else can come in, right? I feel like nobody would have a problem with that, but for some reason, if you're talking about light-skinned people, oh my goodness, it's such a problem. Like, people do not want light-skinned people to think for themselves or act for themselves. For some reason, I feel like they always want to make you feel guilty, as if you being light-skinned is this big problem for them and that you need to like help out the Black community. So I want people to again look at the article, and I want to point out certain things within the article. One of them is the language. It's very evasive. It sounds like they just don't have any proof. The test was allegedly used. It is rumored. The test was believed. Part of oral history. These are very vague terms. So it's almost like you can't prove what you're saying, but you just need it to be true. And my only problem with that is whether or not it really occurred is one issue. It did occur a really long time ago, so I don't know why people try to bring it up today as if, people are doing this today. It occurred a really long time ago if it did happen, but there's really no proof. And people don't even know the numbers, like how many people were doing this. Was it a lot of people, or did like 3 or 4 people do this and the news just spread like wildfire? I feel like that's something that people have to look at, because I just think that basically all light-skinned Black American people are being looked at as the villain, the colorist minority within the Black community. And in reality, a lot of the time, light-skinned African American people are actually mixed race people. So you're talking about a different race of people within another community, and you're trying to hold a standard to them where somehow they have to have some type of allegiance to the darker skinned majority, when that really just isn't fair to them. I mean, they're a different group, so they should be able to delineate. And I feel like people delineate us anyway, kind of like a reverse mental paper bag, right? They look at us and say, oh, this person's a light-skinned person. This is probably how they're thinking. They're colorist. But that's not fair to us, We shouldn't be held to certain standards just because darker skinned people have had certain issues throughout history. And I also feel like a lot of people spend their time looking outward at what other people are doing, and they don't put themselves to good use and become productive members of society, or, look at opportunities and try to work within the framework of what they can do. They spend a lot of time focusing on like light-skinned women or light-skinned men, and they're just not doing anything to, elevate themselves. And then you have other people coming in that are basically saying, oh, okay, you guys are, not watching the bag. I'll take it, So I feel like this has to stop. This is a different race of people altogether. So the paper bag, it would have just been a way to delineate. But it is used in a way to make people feel guilty. It's a way to kind of oppress light-skinned people. Them wanting to be around people like themselves is considered a problem. You know, they're trying to discriminate by keeping us out. But it's not discrimination. I mean, you know, not wanting to give somebody sexual access to you, not wanting to be in physical proximity to somebody, that is not a form of oppression, okay? There's a lot of people that aren't going to give you that type of access and don't want you in their area. So it's not something personal. It's just in the case of when someone is lighter, oh, we can use that, okay? But that is not how it is. And I notice that people try to broadly use these terms and apply them to all people who are light-skinned Black Americans when that needn't be the case. And of course, we know that America has a big influence on the global community. This is something that's posted on Wikipedia. So you could imagine people in other countries reading this are thinking, oh, those light-skinned Black Americans must be terrible. You know, they're discriminating and having paper bags hanging everywhere, keeping dark-skinned people out. But it's like, it's just not even how it is. And you're talking about people, again, who are different. They have a different culture. They're a different ethnicity. And they want to be around people like themselves. So I think the common trope that somehow this is a form of discrimination, it should end. And we should look at it as a way that people try to delineate races in the past. But thank you for watching my video. And please take a moment to leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Do you feel like the discussions surrounding the brown paper bag test are being used in a way to pretty much vilify light-skinned Black American people based on incidents that may or may not have occurred in the past? Let me know.